All right, guys, what's up? We are live here from a hotel in Savannah, Georgia. So I am on my way down to Miami for the Blackout Tinting Miami shop. I'm needed down there. So I will be there for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So if you guys are in the Miami area and you'd like to come by and show some support, I'll be there. And bring your car by. We can get that thing fixed up looking real nice for you as well. But anyway, guys, we have a couple different things to talk about today, mostly Z06 related. The Z06 is the hot thing right now, it seems. So if you guys have any questions or any specific content you'd like to talk about, absolutely bring them up in the chat and we will get it going. Now, guys, like I said, the Z06 is the hot topic, so that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we get started with that, I'm going to wait a little while. I'm going to talk a little bit. We're going to get to know each other a little bit better as the people start joining here, because I want to make sure as many people are on as possible so the information is retained, I guess, so I don't have to repeat it. What's up, Red Stingray? I appreciate you tuning in. William Richardson's on here as well, guys. Again, a lot of the same names as last time, which means we're building that community. We're building a strong community of Corvette lovers here, and I can't think of a better thing. So I appreciate you guys all tuning in. What kind of questions do you guys have for me while we're waiting for some other people to join in before we start talking about some of the Z06 stuff? I'd like to talk to you a little bit about anything Corvette related, detail shop oriented, whatever you might want to do. Frank Smoke, how you doing, man? I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, we're building that community, and it's a lot of the times it's the same people joining in every week. So. William Richardson says, I'm looking to cover the chrome in the interior. We talked a little bit about this before. I'm not sure if you ever sent me an email about that. If you didn't, go ahead and send me that email. I do have a carbon fiber setup that will cover that. And I know you were worried about it not being real carbon fiber before, but it is. At least from what I've seen, it is real carbon fiber. Yeah, guys, if you could please smash that thumbs up button. Let me know you're liking the content so we can keep doing this kind of stuff for you. I really want to build a Corvette community here, something that happens every week, every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, just so you guys can come here, talk about Corvettes, talk about the news, get your updates all in one place. Great White North Corvette, thanks for tuning in. We're going to talk about the news in 1 second. I just want to wait a little bit to get everybody on here so we can all kind of talk about it as a group. Black painter's tape will work, William Richardson. Black electrical tape will too, but I know none of us want to actually do something like that on our babies. Red Stingray says, when are they going to announce the price of the Z06? It is going to be very soon, because we're actually going to talk about a production start date that is very, very likely legit. It comes to us from our friends over at the midenginecorvetteforum.com, but we're going to talk about that in 1 second. Joseph Evans says he is listening closely. We're going to talk about everything in a second here, guys. I'm just waiting for some people to join so we know we are ready to go. I've been trying to find out, are there two size calipers for the Z06 versus the base Z07 package? So that's a good question. Again, for those of you who didn't hear, Bayward says that he has been trying to find out if there are two different size calipers for the cars, one for the Z06 and then a different size for the Z07. I do believe there is. For the C7 Z06 and the C7 Corvette Z07 package car, there were larger calipers on the Z07 package to basically allow for that bigger disc, which was carbon ceramic. So this is the same situation if I had to guess. From what I've seen in person, I've seen a Z06 and a Z07 package car. They do look larger on the Z07. 11-second Eclipse says, hey, Justin, just dropped in and dropped a like. I appreciate that. Again, guys, like I said, I'm seeing a lot of the same names in here, which means we're building that community. I think everybody in the chat right now, if you take a look at some of the names in here, these are the people you can rely on for Corvette information. These are the diehards. So other than me, if you're looking to get some information from somebody, the peers over here in the chat, these are your guys. So I've seen you guys answer each other's questions before I can even get to them sometimes. So you guys are a wealth of knowledge as well. Frank Smoke says, if one day in this life I get a Z06, I'm driving to PA to your shop to do PPF. Well, Frank, you can also drive to Florida. We have a shop in Miami as well. I'd love to meet you, and I would greatly appreciate it. Mark says, my Monday night home time, 9 days till Michelin Bash. Yeah, Mark, that's awesome. Russell says, have you heard anything about the Torque ceramic coatings? No. Torque? Have you?
What?
Torque ceramic coatings?
Torque?
Yeah.
No.
Nope. So the lead ceramic coater at Blackout Tinting has not heard of those either, Russell.
Is that a Chemical Guys brand, like the Chemical Guys Torque Orbital?
Yeah. Is there any more information about that, Russell? I could get some information for you if you give me like the name or who might make it. KD, how you doing, man? Flying cop car. How do you get a few small bubbles out of a tint job? Really, if it's baked in there already, you really don't. You'd have to replace the piece of tint. If it's within the first hour or two of putting the tint on, there are some methods. I would want to get Josh from Blackout Tinting involved in this, though. He knows all these methods. This is one of those things that you could definitely benefit from talking to somebody like Josh. He's gonna have some serious tips and tricks for you. Let's see. Just smash the like button as hard as I could. Love the consistency. Sportify. I love seeing you on here, man. You're one of the top people that I like to see comments from, just because you're always so freaking nice. I love it. William Richardson says, what's a price for the XPEL Fusion plus for a C8? So William, that depends on if the car is already expelled or if it needs to be paint corrected. I think you already have XPEL in your car, so typically we can give you a better price because it's slightly easier to apply whenever the XPEL is already on there, and there's less work, less labor that goes into it. So shoot me an email, William, about covering the chrome on the dash and about the price of the XPEL Fusion. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Michael Matarazzo says, where are you getting your Z? You guys know where I'm getting my Z. It is coming from Click Lewis in Palmyra, Pennsylvania. Michael Matarazzo is my salesman there, so you guys definitely want to check out them and their inventory. I actually posted on the community tab a Colorado that they're selling right now. Not sure how many of you guys are interested in that on the Corvette side, but if you are, go check it out. It's on the community tab. Philip Hardy says, hey all from Perth, Australia. Nice. We are starting to get a few cars here now, only get a chance of what we were provided rather than being able to order though. We're not in a much better position here, to be honest with you. Or the ordering process is pretty tough for the Z06, the C8 in general. Elijah says, anyone can own their dream car if they invest in assets that grow money, stocks, Bitcoin, real estate. 100%. Real estate specifically. The guess. All right, guys, the guess over here on the chat here, he has the first super chat of the day. He donated and asks, why hasn't anyone done any videos on performance design PTR intake? That's a good question. If I had to guess, it's because no one has heard of it. I have not heard of that. I'm curious though, guess. Send me information on that because maybe I could do a video for you. Front seat driver. All right, guys, Jason is here. He says, I'm here until my battery dies. LOL. Driving. He's driving and watching the YouTube channel here, guys. That is called friendship. Guys, give a big thumbs up to Jason for going the extra mile and watching while he's driving. Seriously, that's super dangerous, but he's a good friend. Frank Smoke, Michael Super Macho is the seller person from Florida, right? Is he active in the chat? Frank, I'm assuming you're talking about Michael Matarazzo, the salesman for me. He's actually located in Palmyra, Pennsylvania. Blue Vet, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that. Good day to you as well. Chevrolet Concierge says that they'll have their Z06 configurator and pricing up the second week of June. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, guys. Ted V kind of spoiled it, but like I said, guys, you guys are all such wealths of knowledge. It's awesome. We are going to talk about the fact that this car is very likely to be produced in the third week of June, which means we're going to have pricing up by the second week, which is what Ted is talking about here. So if you guys want to know the price of the Z06, second week of June, and we're also going to be able to start building, possibly speccing out and delivering our orders to our dealership before then. So we could have pricing even earlier than that. But the actual production of the car is going to be around June 16th. So, let's see. Apple and RC. He's tuned in, guys. He's here. That might be the guy. All right, guys. 11-second Eclipse. How you doing? C8 Z06 brakes are larger than the C7 ZR1. They might be. I'll have to look into that. But if they are, it's not by a whole lot. I think they were 15.4 on the ZR1. Future Sean, what's going on, Justin? That Lambo Huracan Tecna has been on my mind all week, dude. 100%. That thing looks freaking nasty. Frank Smoke says, Michael Matarazzo, check your email. Go ahead and do that, Mike. Might be something important. Elijah said the C8 Z06 wing even has more downforce than the C7 ZR1 wing. Yes, it does. Robert says, all I need is an allocation. That's all we all need. We need that allocation for the Z06. It's going to be a tough car to get. Bull Run says, tell GM we want blue calipers and blue accents on the interior on Z06 with Z07 package. I will. I'll tell them. I'm going to call them right after this. Do you think regular used C8 prices will go down once the Z06 drops? Yes and no. So if the current production issues keep up, I don't think so. At this point, I heard a rumor that the plant might be closing again next week, and if it does, the problem is there's not a lot of C8s to go around, and a lot of the people that have a C8 aren't necessarily getting rid of them for a Z06. Some are, some aren't. So it might go down a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be pretty high. You're still going to be paying over MSRP unless you allocate one of these cars. Future Sean says, so production in June or ordering available in June. Sorry, just tuned in. So guys, those of you who are just now tuning in, the production of the Z06 is likely to start on June 16th. I'm going to flip the camera around here because I want to actually go over some information with you guys. So let's jump right into it. Now, the first information we were going to go over before it was spoiled, but that's all right, guys. Like I said, I love the fact that we're able to do this. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Academy video series, but we're going to come back to this in a second because right now we're talking about the C8 Z06 still being on track for summer availability. Now, this is on the midenginecorvetteforum.com, and this is where we're talking about the actual production date. There's a lot of reading here, but it comes down to one thing, and it is right in this area here. The summer release date is mid-July or early August for whenever these things are going to finally start to be delivered, which means they're likely to be built in June. Now, there is actually a date here, and it's right here. As to ordering, we secondhand saw a GM internal document to its dealers stating that initial Z06 ordering will be tentatively late spring. If you missed it, my thought remains that that would be June 16th, which at the time of this article is 62 days away. And I think this article is a couple days old at this point, so we're under 60 days away from June 16th production. So if the car is built on June 16th, the first cars typically have about a month worth of quality control. So you would start to see the first cars coming out mid-July to early August, which is what we had talked about for a while on the channel before. Some people were talking about production actually starting in August. Now it looks like it's going to be July. So one way or another, guys, it looks like we're going to have this car relatively earlier than we thought. And if it is August, we might actually even see some of these things land at Corvettes at Carlisle here in PA. So what do you guys think about that? June 16th production, meaning we would have to have the price and all of the options before then. Obviously, we would have to know what are the allocations like, what's the price, what are the options going to be for the cars, what can we order. It's all going to have to be online. So we'll have the online configurator and everything. Odds are good we'll be able to place our orders before then. So I'm thinking probably early June at the latest, we'll have to have some pricing. What do you guys think? Flying Cop Car says, do you think that GM is actually going to punish the dealerships that are charging over MSRP on new C8s? Unfortunately, no. I don't think that they're they're going to do that. They have talked a big game with this before with the base C8, and nothing really seemed to change. So I don't think that, unless they have something different up their sleeves for the Z06, I don't think anything's going to happen. Dawn Lyon says, hey dude, how are you? I'm on the list at Click Lewis with Kenny Kramer. When's the likelihood of me being able to actually get the car? The problem, Dawn, is that until we know allocation, there's really no way of knowing how many they're going to get and where that puts you on the list. So we will know more about that before June 16th. So probably early June, we're going to have an idea of allocations. We're going to have an idea of cost, all that stuff. And that's going to give you a good idea of when you're going to get the car and all of that. Mark says Z07 brake rotor fronts are 15.7 inches. Rears are 15.4. Yeah, curious how that compares to the C7 ZR1. I want to say they were 15.4 in the front, but I could be wrong. Bull Run says 11-second looks sick on hypersonic gray. Yes, it absolutely would. Elijah says, will Corvette Racing Yellow be available on the C8 Z06? As of right now, Elijah, no, it will not. So the only yellow we have currently for the Z06 is the Accelerate Yellow. 11-second Eclipse says, that's what I was thinking. Hypersonic gray with black and blue interior and blue calipers. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. C8 Rally Driver. May, place your bets. Interesting. So what are you thinking is coming in May? The pricing or the production? Slipstream says, so I'm planning on getting a new car for my channel. I want either a C7 Z06 or a regular C8. I like both of them. Given that you've had both, which would you pick? Slipstream, of those two, I would pick the Z06 for a couple of reasons. I think the Z06 has slightly better drivability, a little more fun, because the car can get a little more wild. And two, you can get it in a manual. Elijah says the C8 Z06 looks just as good as the LaFerrari. I don't disagree. Matt B says, I love your C7 ZR1, looking for one, but prices are getting crazy, over $200K. Do you see their prices going down eventually? Matt, I think the prices of everything are going to go down eventually. I think we're kind of in a weird place as a country right now, but it's not going to go down by a lot, because the big problem with the C7 Corvette ZR1 is that it was rare. There wasn't a whole lot of them made. They're the last of the front engine manual transmission optioned cars with the highest horsepower of the 7th generation. So that car is always going to fetch the most money of the C7 lineup, but it probably will go down under 200 eventually until it goes up again. So you'd want to watch for that and then grab it as soon as you see it dip below 200. Leon says, when is the pricing coming out? C8 Rally Driver actually says he thinks the price will be available to us in May sometime. That's a pretty safe bet, considering June 16th is when production starts, so we're going to have some orders loaded before then. So if I had to guess, probably late May, we are going to have a price and maybe some other information. Michael Marazzo asks, Dawn Lyons, you mean Kenny has your info? There are no deposits or lists at this point. Leon says, when is the pricing for the C8 Z06 coming? Leon, like I said, we're speculating late May, early June. This guy says, total C8 production increasing, or will there be less base cars to compensate? I do believe that the Z06 production is pulling from the base C8 production. Now, with that said, the base C8 production is supposed to be geared for 40,000 cars per year. We have not hit that. We've only gotten slightly above half of that. So I think the highest for a full year was somewhere around 22 or 23,000 base C8s. If they're actually making 40,000, some of those are going to be turned into Z06s instead. Slipstream says, excellent response. Thanks for your reply. I love the C7 Z06. Maybe eventually I'll upgrade to the C8 Z06. Thanks. You're very welcome. I have a lot of experience with both of those cars, and I can tell you my personal preference would be the C7 over the base C8. Now, the C8 Z06 is very likely to take it to another level. At that point, my opinion may change. Tyler says, my 2022 C8 got canceled by Chevy and shifted to a 23 without mag ride. That sucks. Wondering how soon that will be available again. As of right now, there's nothing saying when they plan on making that available again. A lot of people are speculating that they're holding back Mag Ride to make sure that they have enough available for the Z06s. So it could be a while. C8 Rally Driver says, you said June at the latest to configure. I'm being optimistic, Justin. Open in May for configuration. Allow dealers send in June. That's very possible. So June 16th is when the car will be produced. Obviously, before then, we need to know the price, we need to know the options, and we need to have our orders in. So you're very, very possibly right with the May dates, I guess. Don Line says, do you think GM will ever offer a C8 Corvette in manual? No, I don't. The way the center console is set up, it would be almost impossible to put a manual gearbox in there. Elijah said, this car will make Ford GT buyers angry and jealous. I don't want to necessarily agree to that because the Ford GT is a pretty cool car, and it has its own rare thing going for it, which is 90% of why the people have those cars is how rare it is. The performance of the Ford GT is to be determined, I guess, as far as compared to the C8 Z06, but rarity, the Ford GT is definitely going to be more rare than the C8 Z06. The guest asks me, have you seen the Matrix Gray with matte PPF? I have not. That would be pretty cool. That would probably be a pretty cool color to see with the Stealth PPF or paint protection film. There's some speculation here that the ZR1 will not dip at all. Again, guys, you want to look through the comment section here because a lot of people in here have some great ideas and great comments that are coming from you guys, not just necessarily me. So definitely keep an eye on the chat as well. Have 2019 ZR1 brakes, front rotors are 15.5 and rear are 15.3. Okay, so the C8 Z06 are larger rotors by 0.2 inches and 0.1 inches. Blue Eye Devil says, my dealer sent me an email stating he will not sell above MSRP. If he does, I might take him to court. Your thought? If you have that in writing, Blue Devil, you are actually able to do something along those lines. I don't know if it would be a super easy process. I'm definitely not a lawyer, so I can't really give you any kind of legal advice. But at the same time, if you have it in writing, you do have one up on them. Michael Matarazzo says, Don Lyons, no manual. That's why it's so fast. Dual clutch can't be beat. 100%. As far as speed is concerned, you're right. There is a little bit more to it than that, though. Some people, myself included, prefer the feel of a manual transmission and the overall experience. So the dual clutch automatics are definitely faster, but usually I prefer to drive a manual transmission. Bull Run, very good point right here, guys. So plenty of dealers are selling at MSRP. Research and build relationships. I know Bull Run personally, and I would say that what he is saying right there is 100% true. I've actually physically seen him do this, and it has worked out very well for him. So if you guys are interested in getting a C8 or a C8 Z06, research and build relationships with those dealerships. Very good, very, very good information there. Yeah, KB Vet says he still hasn't seen a Z06 in Rapid Blue. That's very true. We have not seen them yet. I'm not sure why, but I'm sure we will eventually. There's a couple colors we haven't seen on the Z06 yet. Mikey Rossi says, wish they offered a harness bar with the Z07 package like Porsche does with their, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but I know which package you're referring to. Great White North Corvette. Will there be any color restraints at the start of production of the Z06? I don't think so for color restraints, but there's going to definitely be constraints. So if I had to guess, the exposed carbon fiber is going to be a constraint. The exposed carbon fiber front lip, side skirts, spoiler, stuff like that. There's rumors going around that the exposed carbon fiber wheels might be the first orders that are pushed through. And I don't know if that's true either, but because the wheel is not made by GM and it's made by Carbon Revolution, it is possible that they would want to push those through first. V8 Junkie says, this is my main source for C8 Z06 information. Glad I subscribed. Number 3 on my dealer's list. Can't wait. Thank you, V8 Junkie. I appreciate that, guys. I really want to bring this kind of information to you guys, but more importantly, I want to build a community, and I think that's what this live weekly is doing. You guys are really responding well, and I'm seeing a lot of the same names popping up, meaning we're all kind of leaning on each other for information and just talking about Corvettes. I mean, odds are good. Pretty much everybody in this chat either owns a Corvette or has owned one, and that means we all bring valuable information to the board here. So even if you're not throwing the question out directly at me, talk amongst yourselves. Guys, that's what this is all about. We are building this community, and I want it to be something special, and so far it really is. Yeah, so Michael Matarazzo says for you guys to DM him. So it looks like you're chatting amongst yourselves, which I love. Michael Matarazzo is a great source of knowledge, and he is one that will help you out with any Corvettes or any kind of cars in general. He sells it all. So shoot him a message if you're interested. General Lee, hey Justin, sorry I'm late to the party. What did I miss? LOL, I'll rewatch for sure. General Lee out. General Lee, thanks for tuning in. We need to get together, man. I haven't seen you what feels like forever, but yeah. So the production date of the Z06 is likely to be June 16th, meaning on June 16th they're going to start building the Z06, which in turn means we have to have the pricing, the options, and the allocations available before that date. We're speculating somewhere in May, probably late May, early June. We're going to have that information, so it's getting close. We're very close to being able to actually know the price of this thing and know all the specifics. The guest says, do you think the E-Ray will outperform the Z06? Yes and no. So the E-Ray is going to be quicker, not faster, meaning the E-Ray will probably hit 0 to 60 slightly faster or slightly quicker than the Z06. But ultimately, the Z06 will be faster than the E-Ray around the track, and from 60 on, it will be faster. Michael Matarazzo says that he went to Ron Fellows. Greg Lewis and himself run the wish list. 11-second eclipse. Every car I own is a manual because I'm a man. LOL. Very nice. Mike Johnson, any word on the ZR1 release date? No. So, Mike, my personal speculation is I don't think we're going to get a ZR1. I think it's going to go straight to a Zora. But if we do get a ZR1, I would say the absolute earliest we're going to see that is probably 2025 to 2026, just because of how long everything else has taken in the meantime. Frank Smoke, guys, is the second Super Chat donator of the day. I want to make this clear again, guys. The Super Chats go right back into the channel. So anything you donate to my channel will help support the channel and future channel growth. Frank Smoke says, donating because these lives are therapy for my anxiety and frustration of the Z06 waiting time. Yeah, I agree, Frank. I appreciate the donation. You help the channel out. I see your name on here every week, and I appreciate your support. Flying Cop Car says, never owned a Corvette, but will be trading in my 21 GT500 for a Z06, number 2 at my dealership. Very nice. The GT500s are pretty cool cars. Michael Matarazzo says, thanks, Justin. You know we have lots of fun toys, rare birds, and everything in between. Yeah, absolutely, guys. If you haven't checked out the Click Lewis website, I will link it in the description down below after this video is live. Go check it out. They have a lot of really cool cars. In particular, the brand new Colorado and also a Bronco that's been lifted and new tires and wheels. It looks pretty cool. Okay, so waiting on my Camaro ZL1 1LE order to be picked up by GM. I reached out to your blackout tinting location in Miami. Might be bringing it there to get ceramic coating and window tint. That would be pretty cool, USA Pure Power. I would love to see that car. We're actually gigantic fans of the ZL1 1LE. The lead ceramic coater there actually was thinking about getting one, so I'd love to see the car. General Lee says, wow, that's awesome. My guy at Hendrix keeps telling me mid-June. Yep. Now I'm super pumped and excited. Thanks, Justin. Who knows? Maybe we'll meet up in Carlisle with our Z06s. Generally, I would love that. You're such a cool dude. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. But if your guy's telling you mid-June, he's pretty freaking close. So, yeah, I think mid-June is when production's going to start, which means we're going to have some information rolling out here really soon to us. Henry says, are you in South Florida currently, Justin? Right now I'm actually in Georgia, but I'm going to be in Florida tomorrow morning. So I'll say yes. If you're in the area, you want to stop by and hang out, I'll be there. All right, guys. So number 3 Super chat of the day comes from Don Lyons. He says he appreciates all I do. You're very welcome, Don. Thank you for the super chat. Like I said, guys, the super chat is a donation of money that will go right back into the channel here, and it helps support future channel growth. I appreciate any of you that choose to do this. It is only going to help make this channel better. Frank Smoke says, Michael Matarazzo, I'm serious. This is still a painful process. All this because I decided to get my ultimate car, so I chose a Z06, and look how difficult to get that car is going to be. Yeah. Unfortunately, guys, we're all in the same boat. We all want the Z06, and we're all kind of having a little bit of trouble getting it because at the end of the day, the entire world right now is having trouble getting everything. So unfortunately, it is what it is, but hopefully we can all get this because I think all of us deserve to grab one of these kind of cars or experience it in some way, shape, or form. We are getting a ZR1 and GM will milk its platform like Porsche. Yeah, you know, if we weren't in such a push for electric cars right now, I would agree. GM is leading the push of electric cars, and I think that is one of the biggest reasons why I don't know that we're going to get a ZR1. USA Pure Power says, was wondering your opinion, Summit White or Rapid Blue for Camaro ZL11LE. I'm not really a big fan of white, and I do really love Rapid Blue. I think Rapid Blue on the Camaros looks really cool. But if it was me, if I was speccing the car, I don't think I could get a ZL11LE without getting it in black. Those cars are just so menacing looking, and black just makes it look like pure evil. Horsepower Obsessed. Michael Matarazzo says at Horsepower Obsessed, amen. Yeah, guys, we all want these cars, and hopefully we can all get them, but we'll see what happens. Larry says, I'm sorry I was late too, but my dealer said production will be August, so how have you confirmed June? So I've heard June from a couple different sources, but I just recently saw it on the Corvette blogger, or the Mid-Engine Corvette forum, which is basically what we're looking at right here, and you can actually see, let me see where it's at here. So right here, June 16th is the date that is being speculated right now. Now, honestly, it doesn't necessarily have to be exactly the 16th, but it is definitely going to be somewhere in mid-June. I've heard this from a couple different people now, and this article is just one that I could find that actually has it in print. Bull Run says, at Frank Smoke, my wife ordered a couch in November 2020, delivered 2 weeks ago. Wow. So Z06 is worth the wait. LOL. Wow, yeah. So, guys, it took him almost 2 years to get a couch. The Z06 is going to take a little while. If we order one, when should our order come? So, if production starts in June, the first cars always take about a month worth of quality control. So, we would be looking at mid to late June at the latest. So we could see these cars as early as beginning of August. William Richardson says, we just had a 2004 CRV repaired and went to the dealership and they have 0 cars. They said there are extra markups even for Honda and to keep our CRV as long as we can. That's unfortunate, but I have seen a lot of the dealership lots are super bare. Like there is, cars in general are hard to get. It's not just the Z06 or just the C8. Cars in general across the board are tough. All right, let's see. So Michael Matarazzo says he just sold an orange ZL11LE with all black trim. It was sick. Wow, that's awesome. I wish I would have seen that. The ZL11LEs are just freaking insane cars. Greg says, has any of y'all that already have gotten a C8 noticed the pimples on the nose? Mine was black whenever it made more noticeable. The plant rep told me. Greg, I know what you're talking about. They're actually... on the back of the bumper, there's actually, I'm not sure what to call them, but on the back of the bumper, there's little holes or dimples in the molding process. That's what you're noticing. Ramon says, white with those accents black and the white interior red would look amazing. Okay, guys, so Future Sean, he is the 4th Super Chat donator for the day. Guys, like I said, the Super Chat, it funnels right back into the channel, and just allows for future channel growth. But Future Sean says, I have a funny feeling we are going to be getting a lap time very soon, especially with a tentative production date sooner than we thought. Thanks for being a reliable source of info for all of us car people. You're very welcome, Sean. I appreciate you donating to the channel. I appreciate you constantly being on here on the live videos. You are personally helping build this community, as are a lot of the people in here. But thank you for the super chat. You're seriously helping secure this channel's future. I appreciate it. Michael Matarazzo says 2024 if you don't know your dealer. Yeah. So guys, basically, like Bull Run said earlier, build relationships with your dealership, because if you don't, the car, you're never going to get a car earlier than 2024 at this point if you don't have a good relationship with your dealer. Great White North Corvette is the 5th Super Chat donator of the day, guys. Thank you again. Great White North Corvette actually has a YouTube channel of his own. You guys should check it out. He has a really interesting spec C8 Corvette. I appreciate it. Thank you for donating. Like I said, guys, it goes right back into the channel so we can continue to build this community. He says, the race is on. Who will get one first? It will be cool to get one before Carlisle. Yes, it would. I would really, really like to roll into Carlisle with a Z06. John Morehouse says, GM needs to get off the dime and get going. I agree. Joel says, I have my C8, or I have a C8, but my new Tesla Plaid has ruined it for me. Yeah, the Plaid is insane. Don Lyons asks Michael Matarazzo, how do I DM you on here? You don't. Mike Matarazzo, you might want to drop your email maybe. Or Don, if you want to email me, I'll put it in the chat here. Just shoot me an email and I will get you Mike's information. Might be the best way to do it. That is my email address. If any of you guys have any questions that you don't want to put in the chat, you want to send directly to me, right there's the email address in the chat. Frank Smoke says, Justin, you need a plan B for your ultimate car. Which one will you choose? $140,000 to $150,000 price? I was thinking M8 comp or used Audi R8. Frank, that is a really good question, because I'll be honest with you, I have not even considered the fact that I won't get a Z06. Even if it's not one of the first ones, I ultimately, for a lack of a better term, I need that car. So I don't think my brain would even allow me to consider something else at this point. Matt B says, what are your thoughts on the new GT500 in comparison to the C8 Z06? I'm between the two. Don't want to wait until 2023. The GT500 is a pretty cool car, but honestly, it's not a comparison. The C8 Z06 is going to be a better car. The GT500 is pretty comparable to the base C8, but the Z06 is just going to be... All right, I think we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I'm at a hotel, and the Wi-Fi is not the greatest here. Let me know if you guys are able to hear me. I think we're back. Okay. All right, guys. So I wanted to throw a big thank you out there to General Lee. He is the 6th Super Chat donator of the day. Like I said, guys, he donates the money. It goes right back into the channel. It helps support future channel growth. The guest has a question about the problem is why I live, the dealers, where I live, the dealers don't need relationships to sell cars. That's very true. They don't need the relationships. That's why it's not being said to try to build a relationship with them. It's to 100% go build a relationship with them. They don't need one to sell cars, no. But you do to buy one. So if you build a relationship, you're much more likely to get a car. Shane, what's up, man? I'm glad to see you on here. You were one of the names that was missing for a little bit. How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to just kind of go over it one more time with you guys. It looks like June 16th is going to be right around the day that the C8 Z06 starts production. That means we're going to have pricing, allocation info, and all the options of the car will have to come out before that. We're thinking somewhere around mid to late May we're going to get that information, possibly early June. Then the car will start production June 16th. Okay, so yep, I'm back. You're good now, loud and clear. All right, good. John Morehouse says, did you settle on a color yet? So I'm like 90% on the fact that I'm probably getting black. It is possible that I may get hypersonic gray. We'll see. Honestly, I probably won't know for 100% until I sit down and start clicking the options in the seat. 11-second Eclipse says, I feel you on that. I need the C8, the Z06/Z07. Been saving and dreaming. I will keep this car till I die. Yep. Don Lyons, my name is Justin. It's okay. I don't say it in all my videos, so a lot of my newer subscribers don't know. Horsepower Obsessed, my name is Justin. Shane says, it's good to be here, everyone. Absolutely, Shane. We are really building a fantastic community of Corvette enthusiasts here, and I love that I see the same names pop up here. It means that you guys are as interested in this community as I am, and that's awesome. Frank Smoke says, I get the feeling the Z06 is having some issues before production, and that's why we're seeing the engineers doing testing so close to production date. I think the car is not 100% ready for production. Honestly, Frank, with how much they've changed the car from the base model, you're probably not wrong. I think it might not necessarily be problems. It might just be that they really don't want to have any problems, so they're just doing a lot of extra testing to make sure that they don't. But one way or another, you're probably not wrong. USA Pure Power says Stingray Chevrolet Plant City, Florida Z06 are being sold at MSRP. They also accept GM supplier discount. They're accepting my supplier discount for the Camaro Z01 1LE. Oh, I thought you were talking about for the Z06. That was going to be interesting. Great White North Corvette still up in the air on the color as well. Yeah, it's weird because I know whenever I ordered my base C8 Corvette, up until I sat down in the seat and started clicking the options, I was certain I was going to order it with the high wing. And as soon as I sat down, I decided not to do the high wing. That later ended up being a mistake, but nonetheless, things change whenever you're actually in that seat making the options. Shane says Hypersonic Gray, she already picked. Haha. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. All right, guys, so number 7th for the Super Chat donator today is Ralph Cruz. Again, another name I see pop up here all the time, and Ralph is one of the biggest supporters of the channel. I appreciate that so much, Ralph. He says, what do you think the value will be of the Z06 in a couple years? Honestly, I think the C8 Corvette Z06 is going to go up in value, very similar to the way the C7 ZR1 is, because I think that car is going to be very hard to get for a long time. I don't think that the Z06 is going to be something that's only hard to get for the first year. I think it's going to be years, possibly many years, before this car is able to easily be purchased. Bruno says, join late, please repeat everything. Okay, so Bruno, the C8 Corvette Z06, very likely to begin production in June. Probably June 16th or mid-June is when the car will actually start to be built, which means we're going to have all of the allocation info, the price info, and the option info before then, which means probably late May at the latest before we get that information. Then the car will start to be built mid-June. John says that he is 75 and will probably die in the car. God, you guys are funny. Michael Monterazzo says the C8 Z06 will be worth probably $200K used in a few years. I agree. I think this thing's only going up in value, guys. Frank Smoke says Ralph Cruz is making it rain. Ralph Cruz really is one of the biggest supporters of the channel, but guys, every single cent helps. So I appreciate all of you guys doing what you do. I hope that you're liking the content here as well. And if you are, please hit that thumbs up button. If you can't donate anything, that's absolutely fine. But clicking that thumbs up button is free, and it helps the channel as well. So clicking the thumbs up makes me a happy guy. And I know you guys want to make me happy. So please click that thumbs up button. Let's see. Mike says, Frank Smoke, yep, good stuff. Justin works hard. Yes, I absolutely do. Wheeler O'Hara, another one. Another name popping up here, guys. I love it. Perfect. I was late as well, so recap is perfect. Hey, Justin, how you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in. The guest says, are they tech bronze wheels on display for the Z06 Tour? I do believe they are. I'm pretty sure I saw them there. Ben 10 says, I am going to sell my house to buy the Zora when it comes out. Hopefully it's not full electric and I can rev it to 9K. I hope you're right too, Ben. I just have a really, really sneaking suspicion that it's going to be full electric. General Lee says, Justin, you just made my night. So excited. Thank you, General Lee. Honestly, you made my night too. I love seeing you on here. Like I said, we need to get together again. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Larry Ramsey says, I have a close friend that retired with the Bowling Green plant, and his contracts say it's transmission issues, but don't want that out, so don't tell anybody. Interesting. I don't know. That's not even the first time I've heard that, so I feel like that there could be something to that. Michael Monterazzo says, at John Morehouse, I hear that every day. LOL, you're young, man. You have many more cars to come. Michael Monterazzo, only 66 thumbs ups. Come on, guys. Smash that thumbs up. Get me to 100 thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. If you guys could break 100 for me. Clicking that thumbs up is totally free, and it only helps the channel. So what other questions do you guys have? If you don't like the button, you'll what? 77. All right, guys. It's jumping up there now. You'll be cursed. Okay, guys. Frank Smoke says, if you don't click the like button, you're going to be cursed and you won't get the Z06. That's pretty real right there. You guys might want to click that like button. I don't know. I think Frank Smoke might have just put a curse on all of us. So I'm going to even click the like button just to make sure. Steve-O says, I logged on both phones to give you 2 smash thumbs up. Man, that is awesome. Thank you, Steve-O. Very cool. Yeah, we don't want any curses here, guys. So get 100 thumbs ups on there. We're going to talk about one more piece of information here. It looks like the Z06 Chevrolet launches the Corvette Z06 Academy video series. Now, if you guys remember, Chevy did something similar to this with the base C8. And what these Academy videos are is just kind of like how-to videos almost, like how to drive the car, how to do all kinds of different things on the nav screen, all the settings of the car, how to do all that stuff. And they have, it looks like, 3 videos up right now for the Z06. And you can actually check this out over at the CorvetteBlogger.com. They will actually take you right to the videos, which are right here. And this will kind of go over some of the options for the car. Now, there's only 3 videos available, and I believe there was like 20 or 30, maybe more, available for the base C8 that really dives into options on the car. So it's basically like your owner's manual in video form. But it exists for the Z06 because Chevy's taking this just as seriously as the base C8. All of these are here at the CorvetteBlogger.com. If you want to come over here and watch any of these videos, they do give you a good bit of information on what's available so far, but there's going to be more videos to come as we get more car information. So, guys, that's the information for today, but I'm curious if you guys have any questions, or if I have any last thumbs ups to go, would be really awesome. Kevin says, my Chevy dealer's GSM told me on Friday that his Chevy rep told him that the Corvette team is having massive issues with the flat plane crank engine during final dev work. I hope that's not accurate. I doubt that. I haven't heard any engine issues, but I have heard more than once some transmission problems. So it is possible that there are transmission issues with the car. I don't know. I don't want to comment and say yes or no on that because none of that has been verified. I have heard it from more than one source, so typically that's my go-to. We'll see. Okay, Wheeler O'Hara says, bad engine news is hard to believe with all the foresight of this chassis being made for the LT6 in mind and the C8R being the true punishment mule for it. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Now, the transmission would make sense because it is a totally different transmission in the C8 Z06 than it is in the C8R. Michael Monterazzo says 91, guys. We got 9 more to go before we hit that 100. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could get me to the 100. It really is going to help the channel out a lot. Like I said, clicking that thumbs up is free, so just click it. It actually feels pretty good to click it. So if you hit it, you're going to feel good about it too. John Morehouse says, looking to get a more accurate look at wheel options. Yeah. If you go see one of the Z06s in the dealerships, you'll see all their options hanging up on the wall. 93, guys. We're 7 away. 94, we're 6 away. Wheeler O'Hara says, any more evidence or verification of Z06 transmission being made out of magnesium? No. So, Wheeler, that was a piece of information I had originally heard from a friend of mine. And apparently, it's possible that was, excuse me, that was changed mid-production. So, it was apparently originally made out of magnesium, and then they changed that. I don't know how true that is. I've only heard that from one person. I don't know. That has never been confirmed. Elijah says, how is the Z06 and C8R transmissions different? I'd have to do some research on it, but I do know that they are different. If you want to shoot me an email, I can get you some information on that in a second. I know the website I could go to for it, but if you shoot me an email, we'll talk about it. Frank Smoke says, I'm a truck driver, and all my fellow trucker friends are going to be proud of me. All right, guys, we're at 96. We need 4 more. Amber says, I clicked the thumbs up button, and instantly a glass of wine appeared in front of her. Huh. Look at that. The like button is magical, guys. We're 97. We need 3 more. Wheeler O'Hara says, gear ratio of original trans and stronger clutch was what I heard from base C8 transmission. Yeah, I heard something similar. I think that was pretty interesting because the base, you would think that there'd be more of a change from the base C8 to the Z06, given that there's more power and a higher RPM range, but we'll see what happens. All right, guys, it looks like we hit 100 thumbs ups. That's awesome. Thank you so much. If we could go over 100, that's cool too, but you guys got me to the first landslide or landmark there, and I appreciate it. Awesome. Awesome. So, guys, Mike Matarazzo basically single-handedly took this under his wing and made 100 thumbs ups happen. I appreciate you guys so much. I think we're going to wrap this up, though, guys. This one's going to be a little bit shorter than usual because we only had 2 pieces of information on this C8 Z06 this week. It's a big one, though. Like I said, the production is likely to start around June 16th. So, guys, oh, look at that. We got the number 8 super chat for the day comes from Amber. She says, great info. Really looking forward to the Hypersonic Gray Z06 red calipers with a whole bunch of carbon fiber. All right, guys. Again, like I said, super chats go right back into the channel. So anything you donate helps make this channel better, and it will only help entertain you guys more. 11-second Eclipse says over 100 thumbs up. Thank you. That's awesome, guys. You all attributed to this, and I appreciate every one of you. General Lee says, I think the trannies are the same, just different final gear ratio. Blue Vet, you've earned every thumbs up. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Late tonight, but you got a thumbs up. Thanks, Carrie. I appreciate it. I know your name's not really Carrie, but I'm going to call you that because that's your screen name there. Wheeler O'Hara says, hopefully prices soon then. I think pricing is going to be late May, early June. Steve-O, I want to attend the Z06 Academy. Head over to the CorvetteBlogger.com. They actually have a couple different videos for you there you can view. As more come out, you're going to have more of the Academy information. Michael Monterazzo says, at BlueVet22, he sure does. Thanks, guys. I appreciate all the support. V8 Junkie, thanks, brother. Looking forward to the coming weeks. Cheers. Every Monday, guys, every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be here talking about Corvettes. In the meantime, guys, I appreciate all of you tuning in. I appreciate all the super chats. Like I said, it's going to go right back into the channel. Thank you so much for your support. Guys, I will catch you next week at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday. Until then, guys, take care. I'll see you next week.